The population of rabbits is modeled by the equation R of t equals 182 plus 175 sine 2 pi t over 365, where t is measured in days. On what intervals is the population increasing within the first 365 days? So a very basic view of this problem is this is sine with no shifts. All right, now what's going to happen? I'm sorry, there is a shift. There's a vertical shift. Okay, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen and where it's going to happen. What I do know is its sine, it's going to go like this, and it's going to go like that, and yada, yada, yada. And at some point, I'm going to have an area where it's increasing, and then probably an area where it's increasing again, and maybe it repeats itself. I don't know. But what I need to do is I need to find out where it stops increasing. And it stops increasing at a maximum, and then is decreasing, and then it starts increasing at a minimum. And maybe it happens again, and maybe it happens again. I don't know. But what I need to do is I need to graph this guy in a graphing calculator, find all necessary maximums and minimums, because those maximums and minimums tell me where this guy is increasing. And I have to make sure I follow the rules of 365 days. So let's see what happens. All right, so we're talking about rabbits. So y is going to equal 182, just like that one band who blinks a lot, plus 1, that's a 7, 175 sine, let me double the parentheses. I always get very paranoid. 2 pi r, t, which is going to be my x. So we'll put that in parentheses, divide that by 365. That's days in a year. We'll close that, and that should do it. So let's zoom trig to get a better viewpoint of what's going on. And I get nothing. And if you're wondering, well, why do you get nothing? Well, because if I'm adding 182, that's a vertical shift of 182. That's a lot. So let's go to my window, and let's start out with my y min of, well, first off, my amplitude is huge. So let's keep the y min at 0. If I'm dealing with numbers like 182 and 175, let's attempt 300, and that might do the job. All right. Now, clearly, this ain't going to do it. Why? Well, it also mentions numbers like what's happening within the first 365 days, and it looks like I don't have 365 days. So let me make my window go from, I don't need any negatives because negatives mean negative time, and that doesn't make sense. So let me go to I'm going to the wrong thing. My x max, let's do -1. And let's do my y max at 370, just, to go a little extra. Just to go a little extra. All right, so let's bump our window, our y max to 400. And that should hopefully give me what I need to see. Yes. Now, I care about when this is increasing. So it looks like it's increasing. And I said this in the part beforehand. I need to find out from here to its max where it's increasing. Now, clearly it's increasing, and it stops increasing at the max. So I have to find the max right here. Now, it's going to decrease until the min and starts increasing until the very end. So once I find out my maximum value and my minimum value, I'm good to go. So second trace maximum will help me find my max value. So let me scroll to the left until I go to the left of my maximum. There. Enter. Let me move to the right of my maximum. Enter. Guess. Enter. And it's going to tell me that the maximum happens at 91.2599. So 91.260 is going to be a maximum value. Just writing that out so I can write it back down. All right, let's find our minimum value. Same idea, but min. Second, calc. Minimum is 3. So let's move to the right a bit. Go to the left of my minimum. Move to the right some more. hit enter on that, hit enter on that, and my minimum is a beautiful 273.75. All right, so my maximum number was 91.260. My minimum number was 273.75. And this picture that I drew out ended up being pretty nice. So I'm, a little pat on the back for me. Now, the way I write that out in interval notation is it begins increasing right away. So I will include 0. And it goes all the way to 91.260, but I won't include it because that number technically goes on forever. Then I've got union. Now it's decreasing for a while, and it picks back up again at 273.75 exactly, and then goes all the way up until 365 days, including. All right, so those are my intervals where these guys are increasing. Fun stuff. Rabbits.